For me, man, like a lot of things have changed. I guess I had a lot of how can I put this? I was with a label, which I'm now not. I'm now independent.
Yeah, you were with Elektra, right? Which is
I was with
Warner?
Elektra Records. I think ever since the hype of like Astronaut In The Ocean, which somehow is still doing numbers, which I don't know how, but it is
huge.
It's just been, I guess, like for me, when like maybe I should go back when I wrote Astronaut In The Ocean and I was doing the rap, I was trying to be like Kendrick because I loved Kendrick. I thought Kendrick was the flower that blossomed for like the hip hop industry and just rap culture, and I was like, thank God someone has saved the industry, because I felt in that part when Kendrick came about just before, and no one really knew about him in a world status. Like not a lot of Australians would have known about him. It was like I felt like rap was on a down curve.
Right.
And when I did Astro, I was like, man, I want to do like Kendrick style and just like just little things that he would do, like that I could like pick brains on and try and be influenced on. And then when it blew up, it was like everyone was like country rap song, or kids were loving it. And I'm like, yo, man, I'm trying to be like a rapper. I'm listening to Eminem, G-Unit, like it took like a left curve.
So when you say everyone, you mean the label, like Elektra, or just people around you?
No, it just meant general in listening. People were like, oh, it's a country rap song. They weren't like defining it as, the like a Jack Harlow What's Poppin' when that came out. It was like, this is a cool rap song. So I think like what happened was we tried to like put myself into like an alternative lane, which I never really wanted to be in. Releasing like commercial songs or like doing like things that weren't really like true to my heart. Like I'm just pure rap. I love the culture. I love like, cadence and like trying to like do triplets and come back to something chilled and just switch up a lot. And I felt like because it wasn't being received in like that type of like, not Polo G and all that scene, but just like rap itself, it was like, okay, what can we do to like keep you in the game,
Right.
And for me, like it's been a big learning curve, and I just felt like where I felt a lot more comfortable is when I've just stuck to what I know. So now that I'm independent, I'm focusing on just being Masked Wolf and doing my music that got me recognized in the first place.
Yeah.
And just like
it's interesting,
writing
man,
in my own way.
Because like when you signed to Elektra, I was following you on Instagram, so obviously I was just keeping up with everything that you were doing, and I saw the music that you were dropping after Astronaut, and it definitely felt more like it definitely felt more just more industry. You know what I mean? Like major labels have a way of packaging things and artists and their acts in a way where it feels very just mainstream. Like they're pulling the strings, they're getting the features, they're getting you this big production, and it didn't feel, at least, and this is all my perspective from the outside looking in, right? It didn't feel like it was 100% authentically you. And I would guess that this is possibly how your other fans who found you from Astronaut felt also. But
I mean, the one thing I will say was that I wanted to be versatile. So I'm not throwing hate to like people like Bring Me the Horizon when I do a rock track. Like that is what I wanted to be. I always wanted to push myself to be able to do like rock rap verses or something like that. It's just things like when you want to be yourself and you've got a label behind you, and it doesn't have to be Elektra. There could be so many other artists out there that are signed to whatever label, and they're trying to like box you in. They're trying to like say, well, no, trust me, this will work better on the radio, or this will work better in this lane because it's the trend at the moment. The one thing I hate is people go, it's the trend at the moment, because like I see this trend of every song on my Spotify playlist. It's a sample with a UK drill beat, and it's just smashing playlists. And everyone's like, "Let's do this, let's do this." And I'll hear some song that's from 1993 that's sampled with, and it's pitched up.
That's the TikTok formula, bro.
Yeah, and I'm just like, but for me, I don't. The way I got known was by not following a trend. I stuck to myself, and that's what I had to like ground myself back to. I'm wondering if I can actually show you something, this thing, if it would play to you. But yeah, that's where I'm at the moment. I'm going on tour, which is going to be cool. I'm going to America and Europe in a couple of months to do a 2 to 3 month tour, which is going to be lit.
Dope.
So yeah, it'll be very.
So you're independent now, right? Does that mean that you fulfilled your contract with Elektra, or did you part ways amicably?
We mutually part.
Okay. Got you.
Yeah. It was on both sides. However people want to take that, or whatever that means, go for it. But at the end of the day, I'm not bound to them. They are not bound to me. And I literally, if I want to, I'm my own boss, basically.
But while you were on Elektra, I feel like you did a lot of like shows and traveling and touring. Like I saw you on the road heavy.
Yeah, correct. And that was the frustrating part, because I was working like my backside off to get my name out there even more, because at the end of the day, Astronaut in the Ocean, it's people know the tagline, you know, what you know about, but they, you know, you got to put the face with that tagline or with the song. And when you're releasing songs that aren't really like locked to your heart and you're traveling, it kind of burns you two ways, because touring is a very mentally draining thing for me, at least. I don't get excited to tour in a sense of the travel side of things. Like I just get mentally burnt. Yeah. So for me, it was like I'm getting exhausted from touring, and then I'm trying to release things that aren't really Masked Wolf.
Yeah. So let me ask you this then. Did you feel the pressure from Elektra to follow up with another massive hit after Astronaut?
Not at all. No.
Interesting.
No. There was no pressure. We were, at the end of the day, we were a team. And I never shift blame to one thing. Like, we're all a team. And at the end of the day, there's really no blame to be said. I think me and my manager as Australians, we're very, let's get this organized, do this now, let's have a plan. And I just think at the end of the day, I've said this to everyone, to anyone that ever has a hit song, hopefully it's you that's listening. You know, you see it with, you know, that Whoopty song, you see it with Jack Harlow. If everyone that has a hit song retains to be a superstar, there'd just be a just inflation of too many popular people. And
of course.
I wish, I honestly, sometimes I say to myself, I'm kind of happy that I'm not a superstar in a way, because I don't think I'd handle it very well with like anxiety and the mental side of things and just all these cameras and constant things. That's just not how my body works. But I'm very like grateful for what's happened, because, you know, I mean, look where I'm sitting. I'm sitting in my own studio. I'm my own boss, and I'm not working as a salesman anymore. So, I mean, a lot of things have changed, but for me, like, it's kind of like, I always say it to people. Harrison Ford says he hates when people just recognize him as Han Solo, because he has another identity. You know, he's not just an actor that's based off Han Solo. He's got multiple movies that he's known for. So, like, for me, I don't want to be just the Astro guy. I want to be, you know, the speed racer, the night rider, the one-take videos I was doing with my friends for the hustle. I just want the story to me itself.
So how do you do that then? Like, after having such a huge song, like, I mean, I think Astronaut is what, 2 times platinum now, and I feel like was probably one of the biggest songs of the year that year, and has over a billion streams on Spotify. Like, how do you overcome that type of just like explosion as your first introduction to like who you are as an artist, and really build a real fan base and have like a bigger catalog?
I don't think it's like, I think like when you say you have to overcome something, it means you're trying to kind of like beat a problem when you overcome something, or beat a challenge. And to me, I never wanted to have a mindset like that. I never wanted to be like, oh, I've got to do better, or oh, I've got to save this, or you know, for me it was just keep making music. Like whatever happens, happens. And for me personally, I hate socials. Like you barely see me doing stories. You barely see me doing like posts, because I really dislike social media. And I've always said to people, if it wasn't for music, I'd have no social media accounts. Like I'd just be at my house gaming, making music. Yeah. And just chilling. So, for me, man, I'm not thinking about, oh, how can I, you know, do this to like save or be better than Astronaut in the Ocean or keep the catalog. I just think like I've always trusted my ear and my heart, and I know what's different and sounds cool or is fresh and is not a trend, and I just try and go with that now. And people have seen that just from the last 2 releases of my songs. Like since I've been independent, I've released every 4 to 6 weeks. I released Butterflies and Band-Aids, then The Story, and, you know, we're releasing another 2 songs 4 to 6 weeks apart again. So it's like, there's already been a change that people see. They're like already telling me, you know, it's already better music because you're allowed to release what you want.